Okay, so today is Mahashivratri and a very special day. So we'll be doing our yogasan today to honor Lord Shiva. And we'll do that by way of symbolism and performing asanas to honor the symbols of Lord Shiva. So in order to do this, I'm going to ask you to sit up straight on your mat. And let's start with Shiva Mudra with our hands. So take your left palm and hold it with palm facing up. Right hand, create a fist and put the fist on top of your left hand palm and just hold this mudra as we start our practice today. Close your eyes at this point in time. Hold this mudra and just connect with your breath. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through your nose. And with each breath, try to see if you can feel the length of your breath extending and the breath becoming deeper every time you breathe in and breathe out. So Lord Shiva is usually called Lord of Death. And the way I'm thinking about this mudra today is the open face palm is your body, the fist is your mind, and the extended up thumb representing Shiva Linga is the progression on the spiritual path, if that is something that you desire to do. We have to understand that we are not our body, we are not our mind, but we are that divine light that is in each one of us. So, with that intention and thought, let's chant one Om quickly. Inhale, exhale. At the top of next inhalation, we are going to chant one Om. So, inhale. Om. Gently rub your palms together. Massage your face gently and blink open your eyes. And let's get started. So today we'll be doing asanas, starting with warm-ups on the mat. Stand up for a few asanas and then come back to the mat and then go into Shavasana. So that's the sequence of asanas. And remember to be relaxed and steady in each pose, and with each asana, connect with your breath. So focus on your breath. When we do that, as we are strengthening our bodies, we are also calming our minds so that we can realize the one that we are and realize the one that we are not. And I'll just share one quick story about Lord Shiva in terms of the symbolism. So Shiva, the destroyer, is one of the three Hindu trinities. And if you think about it, Brahma, the first trinity, wife is Saraswati, so you need knowledge to create. Second deity of the trinity is Vishnu, and that's the god of sustenance. You need the wife of Vishnu, Lakshmi, or money to sustain. And wife of Shiva is Parvati. Parvati is the goddess of material body. So the only thing that Shiva destroys essentially, or to destroy, you can only destroy the material body, not necessarily the light within us. So think about this thought as you kind of do your asanas today. And all of us are eventually going to go, so the body is always going to die at the end of the day. But as we think about strengthening our bodies and calming our minds and starting to realize the divinity within us, we are rising spiritually. And that's kind of the philosophical aspect of all of our practice today. We'll start with some simple warm-ups, and let's begin with warming up our necks. So start with tilting your head and bringing your right ear to your right shoulder. And do this with your back straight and relaxed. And hold this pose. Breathe in once or twice here as you then bring your head back to neutral, and then lean over to the other side as your head moves to the left. Left ear tries to reach to the shoulder, and give your neck a nice stretch. Come back to neutral. Turn your head to the right. Again, shoulders are relaxed. You're just looking over to the right. Couple of breaths here as you bring your head back to neutral. And now look over to your left. You're really exercising our throat chakra, Vishuddha chakra. Look up as you now move your head up and open up that throat. Bring your head back to neutral and now look down as you bring your chin close to your chest. Come back to center, and let's give a nice rotation to our neck, starting with clockwise and then anti-clockwise. So we are starting to wake up our neck here. Again, from a symbolism standpoint, Shiva is also called Nilakantha, blue throat. Blue signifies the vastness. Reverse the direction after a couple of clockwise. Now rotate anti-clockwise. Opening up our neck helps us have more clearer speech. Again, the philosophical aspect of it. Shoulder rotations, 3 clockwise and 3 anti-clockwise. So we are just waking up our body here. Again, you can really just rotate your shoulders, rotate your arms, wake up your upper body, wake up your torso, place your hands on your knees and give your body a quick churn of sorts, wake up your stomach. Just in the position that you're in, move your body clockwise, anti-clockwise, rounding up your backs. And after a couple of those, stretch out your legs and give your ankles a good clockwise and anti-clockwise rotation. Flex and point your toes. Bring your feet together close to your body, Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. Flap the butterfly wings to wake up your legs. And this is a quick seated warm-up that we'll do before we head over to a tabletop position. So here you are on all your fours. Go this way probably. Make sure that your knees are stacked underneath your hips and hands are placed in a way where the wrists are exactly below your shoulders. And over here, your top of your feet can be flat against the mat. And we are going to do cow pose. For cow pose, drop your belly to the mat, pick your hips up, open your shoulders, look up. And this is a nice spinal stretch, Bittilasana. Cow, a close cousin of Nandi. So we are honoring the vehicle of Lord Shiva. Hold this pose. And now pick up your belly, round your back, Tuck your hips in and look at your belly button as you go into cat pose. And now do this a couple of times at your own pace. The cat-cow pose to open up and really wake up your spine. After 2 or 3 of these cat-cow poses at your own pace, shift your weight in this tabletop pose, come back to neutral, and shift your weight to one side of your knee. So I'm going to shift my weight to the left knee, pick up the right knee, and bring the right knee close to your nose. So try to touch your knee to your nose. You may or may not be able to do that completely, but bring your knee as close as possible to your nose or forehead. And then as you exhale, bring that leg up and look up. Balance. And now repeat this at your pace. Knee to nose. Extend the leg out with your foot moving towards the ceiling. Knee to nose. Leg back up. This is Veerabhadrasana or the tiger pose. After about 5 of these on one side, bring your knee down and pick the other knee up as it comes towards your nose and goes back up. So knee to nose and then leg extended out back. Lord Shiva does wear a tiger skin around his waist. So our tiger pose honoring the garment of Lord Shiva. So again, 5 of these. At this point, you should feel very warmed up. Come back to tabletop, neutral position. And here, tuck your toes, pick your knees and hips off the mat. Walk your feet by bringing the heels one at a time on the mat. See if you can bring your body and head through your arms to make a nice V mountain pose or down dog. Hold here for a couple breaths and then walk up, rise up and stand in Tadasana. So once we are here in Tadasana, we are going to stand tall as we can, and start our standing sequence. Inhale, hands go up, interlock your fingers, turn your palms up, rise up, balance. Become as tall as Mount Kailash. Exhale, come back to neutral. Inhale, again, repeat. Exhale, come back to neutral. Third time, inhale, interlock your fingers, hands go up, pull up, extend, relax. Spread your feet twice the hip distance. Now what we are going to do is we are going to extend our arms, star pose or Untitled Tadasana. And from here, we are going to do a Veerabhadrasana sequence. In order to do that, turn your right leg so that the foot is pointing 90 degrees to the left. Left foot is going to be at a 45 degrees angle to your body. Right heel is in the line of your left arch of the foot. So check your pose. And from here, Simply sit down so that your right leg has a nice 90 degrees angle, and we are going to hold this pose for a couple of breaths. Veerabhadrasana, fun fact, is the name of the warrior who was created by Lord Shiva from his matted locked hair. Inhale, exhale, inhale again. As you exhale, place your elbow over your knee. Sweep your hand up from front of your face over your ear and create a nice straight line on the left side of your body as you remain here for last 2 breaths. Release. Stand back up in Veerabhadrasana. Turn your foot back so that it's pointing forward. And now let's repeat on the other side. This time your left foot turns 90 degrees. Right foot is 45 degrees to your body. Sit down and create a 90-degree angle at your left leg. Body is straight. Veerabhadrasana 2. Couple of breaths here. And then place your elbow on the knee. Sweep your hand up over your face. Create a nice straight line now from the right of your body. Open your chest and breathe. Hold. If your legs are burning at this point, take a break, no problem. And then release out of the asana. Come back into Veerabhadrasana 2. Bring your feet back to neutral. Stand up and come back to standing pose, Tadasana. And just breathe here for a couple of breaths. From here, we are going to go to Ardha Chandrasana. Inhale, hands go up, interlock your fingers, index finger pointing up, and give yourself a good stretch. Your feet are flat on the mat. They aren't going anywhere. So stretch, stretch, stretch. Inhale. As you exhale, lateral bend over to the right. So start with right bend. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose, honoring moon on Lord Shiva's head. Hold the pose. Breathe. Come back to neutral. Let's go to the other side. Bend laterally. Make sure your shoulders are open, feet are steady. Go as far as your body allows you. Hands are straight. Lateral bend to the left. Come back to neutral. Release your hands. Stand back in Tadasana. At this point, you're going to do 2 more fun asanas, starting with Tandavasana. Tandavasana, or the dance pose of Lord Shiva. So hopefully your breath is back to neutral. If not, take 1 more deep breath here. In and out. And cross your legs. Your right leg crosses over your left leg. And see if your feet are parallel to each other still, opposite of how they usually are. And over here, make sure you can feel all the 6 points of your feet still, meaning you're still balanced here in this pose. Again, your feet may not be right next to each other. They may be a little forward and back, that's okay. Wherever you are, get your steady pose, interlock your fingers, turn your palms up, just like we did with Tadasana. And over here, my right leg is crossed over my left leg. So bend back and then turn to the side of the leg that's in front. And see how far you can go. Don't forget to breathe. Come back to neutral. Release your hands. Return your feet back to neutral or regular standing pose. And then let's cross them over the other way. Again, interlock your fingers. Turn your palms up. Bend back and to the side of the leg that's in front. And breathe. Tandavasana. Come back to neutral and stand back in Tadasana. Now the one pose that we are going to do that's really honoring the Lord of Dance, Shiva, is Natarajasana. So in order to demonstrate that, I'll turn over this way. And what we're going to do is we're going to hold our left hand like so, as if you have a coin in your hand, and then flip it around and pick up your left leg and hold the left foot. Inhale as you extend your right hand up. Breathe here, balance yourself first. And this is perfectly great pose to remain in. But if you feel like it today, and on your next exhalation, start to bring your right hand down, pick up your left hand as it travels up with the foot. So the way it would look is like that. So if that's in your practice today, feel free to do Natarajasana on the left of your body. Come back to neutral. And if others who are just standing like so, this is perfectly fine balanced pose to be in. Come back to neutral, and then let's repeat it on the other side. So pick up your right leg, hold your right foot. Inhale, extend your left hand arm up. Exhale, bend forward. As your torso and hand come down, your right leg travels back up. It should emerge from over your head. Hold, release. Come back to standing neutral. That completes our sequence of standing asanas. At this time, extend, take about twice the hip distance, or maybe just about one hip distance between your legs. Hold your palms together in Anjali Mudra. We are going to go down to the mat. In order to do that, we are going to do Malasana or garland pose. So sit back down on an imaginary chair and keep sitting here. As we sit here, we are kind of in Utkatasana or the chair pose. Keep traveling down. Use your elbows to spread your knees apart. Back is straight. Feet are flat on the mat. Anjali Mudra. Good hip extension. Great asana for your feet, for your stomach, and then sit down on the mat. Excellent. Over here, we are going to do Gomukasan, or the cow pose. So in order to get to the cow pose, first of all, cross your left knee over your right knee. And the idea is we are stacking our knees on top of each other. Make sure that your hips are on the mat first, then your knees are as close as they can get together, and then your feet are on the mat, in that order. So make sure you do that. Back is straight. Left knee is on top of right knee. So let's inhale and bring our right hand up. Bend your elbow. Almost pretend as if you're patting your own back, and hold your hand like so. Left hand travels from the bottom to see if it can meet the fingers of the right hand behind your back. And hold this pose and breathe. Back is straight. You're not stooped over in order to meet the hands. And breathe here for a couple of breaths. Gomukasan, or the cow pose, cow face pose. Release. Release your feet out. Quick ankle rotation. And now reverse. Right leg crosses over the left leg. Hips are on the mat. Knees are stacked on top of each other. Feet, if possible, are on the mat. Right leg is crossed over, so lift your left hand and fold it back as if you're patting your back. Right hand travels from below to go meet the left hand, and fingers touch each other as you keep your back straight and breathe here. Again, we are honoring a close cousin of Nandi with the cow face posed. Gomukasan. Last breath. Release your hands, extend your feet, give your feet a nice little shake. Here we are going to go into Padmasana. If Padmasana is not in your practice, Padmasana or lotus pose, then any regular cross-leg position is perfectly fine. Inhale. We are going to do a little twist here. Hold your hands up, breathe. As you exhale, left hand meets the right knee, right hand goes back, sit up, twist. Inhale as you extend your spinal cord, and exhale as you twist. Get a nice twist in. Breathe. Look over your right shoulder. And then release, come back to neutral. Inhale, hands go up again. As you exhale, the right hand now meets the left knee. Left hand goes back. As you rise up, twist, look back, and give yourself a nice twist, massaging all the organs in your stomach. As you inhale, rise up. As you exhale, twist a little back. Release, come back to neutral. Let go of your feet. Extend out your legs. Give your ankles another quick rotation as we come down to the mat. So lie on your stomach. Hands are next to your chest. Legs are together. Elbows are tucked in. We are going to inhale. And as we do that, we are going to bring our head up, chest up, look forward, Bhujangasana, or the Cobra, baby Cobra pose, honoring the snake around Lord Shiva's neck. Breathe here for a couple of breaths. Relax. Head comes down, arms go to the side, heels fall apart, and relax. Rise up again. This time, we are going to rise further up into a full cobra. So legs are together, elbows are tucked in. As you inhale, rise up and straighten your arms, open your shoulders. Look up. This time around, your stomach, torso, chest, everything is off the mat. Hold the pose for another couple of breaths. Great back bend here. Release. Come back down to the mat. Hands go to the side as you relax. Head can go to one side. Deep 3 or 4 cleansing breaths here. Bring your hands back up and over here. Push your body up. Go back down into child's pose. So you're sitting back on your heels. Give yourself a nice stretch, child's pose here. And now let's come to our mat, down in the position with our backs on the mat. So here we are going to do one advanced asana, and it's called Karnapidasana, which is like the third stage of Sarvangasan, Halasan. Very quickly to demonstrate where we are going here is just look and observe for like couple minutes. So we are going to go from Sarvangasan to Halasan to Karnapidasana. In Karnapidasana, what we are trying to do here is we are going to look in the final pose as Shivalinga. So that's the final pose. Now, take a few minutes to figure out where you want to be today. A good alternative is to look at a wall for support and just take your legs up the wall. Viparita Karani. This is a perfectly fine and acceptable alternative if we don't want to go into a complex advanced pose today. So be here, use this wall to try and bring your body up to Sarvangasana, if that is something you would like to do. Otherwise, practice with me. So perfect. Excellent. I'm seeing what you're trying there. Good. So I'm going to do a quick Karnapidasana again to demonstrate Sarvangasana. Hold, breathe. Bring your body up. Support it with your elbows. Legs go back. Halasana. Hold your hands together.
as the knees come close to the ears. This is also called ear pressure pose. An advanced pose, not recommending if this is not in your practice. Perfectly fine to stay in Sarvangasan too. So again, based on your preference, honor your body and Lord Shiva. And when you feel like it, come back down to the mat and relax. So just close your eyes and take a couple of deep breaths here. And then when you're ready, feel free to rise up, back, sit back on the mat. We are going to do one quick pranayam followed by 2-minute shavasana. So in order to, let's do the pranayam called Ujjayi breath. So all we are going to do is focus on our breath. But before we do that, we are going to hold our hands in the Rudra Mudra. Rudra Mudra looks like this. Thumb and index finger joined together. And from this point, ring finger comes and joins the thumb next to the index finger. So at this point, thumb, index finger and ring finger together, middle finger and little finger extended out. This is the Rudra Mudra. You're going to hold your hands on your knees in Rudra Mudra. Sit up straight, close your eyes, and Ujjayi breath, or the breath of the ocean. That sounds like Darth Vader's breathing, if that's the best I can explain. Or think of it, if you wanted to fog the mirror in front of you, you would do, and the sound that it creates, that's the sound we are aiming for. So close your eyes and focus again on the intention of the class today. You are not your limited body, you are not your limited mind, but you are that true divine light that has the potential to really be what you want to be. So start breathing here. And as you breathe, see if you can really make that friction in the back of your throat, Ujjayi Pranayama. Take the last 2 breaths here. And gently release your mudra. And at this point, I invite you to lie down on the mat for Shavasana for 2 minutes of Shavasana. So lie down on the mat. I'm going to play a little music. Lie down for Shavasana.
Relax your feet. Relax your knees, your ankles, your thighs, your hips. Relax your back. Relax your shoulders, your arms. Relax your head. Let go of your body. Again, Lord Shiva, the destroyer, will one day destroy our body. But the soul is eternal and will live on. We have to realize that we are not this limited body, but truly that light, the divine light. As we do each and everything today and for the rest of the year, just remember this one simple truth. Relax completely. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, shake your head from side to side, wiggle your shoulders, and turn to one side of the body and gently sit up. Let's end our class and the session today by placing our hands on our knees in chin mudra or regular index finger to thumb mudra. Back is straight. Let's chant one Om together. Inhale, exhale. Inhale for Om. Bring your hands together. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Again, hope you have a very peaceful, divine Mahashivratri 2021. If you did this asana sequence and if you enjoyed it, feel free to share it on your social media as hashtag Mahashivratri Yoga Challenge 2021. And I hope that over the next week or so, more people are able to participate in the challenge and really exercise their body, calm their minds, and realize
that we are that light, divine light, and honor Shiva on this Mahashivratri day. Om Namah Shivaya. Always feel free to visit arvayoga.org for free classes and workshops, which will be announced shortly. Thank you.